Welcome to Build a Duck. This uses very few Lego pieces. In fact, when you look at them, it's actually just 4 types of bricks, but there are 6 of them. And all I've done is I've popped some googly eyes onto one of them because this particular activity involves you creating a duck. Now, I use this predominantly when I want to talk to people about prototyping or thinking beyond their first response to something, or to compare about, we've all got the same resources and the same instructions, but we've actually all come up with something very different. So the way in which I would set this up is really simple. I would hand these out and I would say to people, right, you have, I don't know, a minute if you want to put a time on it, build a duck. See what people do. Some people will already have got this out of the bags already and have started building things because they just can't help themselves. Other people will be waiting for instructions. Some will be looking around others and thinking, well, what's the right thing to do? Some people like me will probably start and then start to think, okay, how does it, oh, look, there we go. And it starts to come together. So there you go, there's a duck using 6 pieces. So that's relatively straightforward. And people will start to kind of compare with their neighbours and see who's got what. And it's quite good fun to watch. The next instruction to this, though, is quite an interesting one, because after they've kind of shared it, you then say to them, okay, what I want you to do now is I want you to dismantle your duck. And you'll physically hear people go, oh, what? Because just in that small amount of time, just in those 30 seconds or so, they become attached to it. They become attached to what they built. And because, of course, you're calling it a duck, and ducks are nice and fluffy and cute, and people become attached to it. As part of the debrief later down the line, you'll want to draw back to that to say, how did you feel when I told you to deconstruct your duck? And some people will go, oh, I didn't want to. I like my duck. And the whole point of that debrief is to say, when we have an idea, sometimes we get attached to the first idea that we have, but it might not be the best one. So keep that in mind for the debrief. So you told them to deconstruct their duck, ask them to make another one, something that's slightly different. Okay, I'm going to do 2. Well, I wonder if I could do feet going out. It's a bit of a weird duck, this one. Don't think that really looks like a duck. Perhaps it's a flying duck. So you'll get people do again exactly what I'm doing, and that they'll test things out, and you might hear people say it's not as nice as my first duck that I did, and things like that. Can you do that on a corner? I don't think you can you? No, doesn't stop me trying. Several times I did it. So you've got a duck. It really does look like a duck. I should have tried this out before I started building it. So again, they've got a second duck, and you think, okay, all right, get them to do it again. So this, you can do one of several things. You can get them to recreate their duck 3 or 4 times by literally doing the, okay, now deconstruct it, make another one, deconstruct it, make another one. Or you can say to them, right, you've got 30 seconds to make as many different ducks as you can and make it into a bit of competition, you know. And so some people like competition, other people won't join in at all. All of that is fine. Mine are very abstract ducks. Maybe that should be at the front, and then I could... Oh, maybe it's a standing up duck. Okay. Well, I'm having way too much fun with this. Okay, so after people have done their 30 seconds, you can ask them, how many ducks did you actually make? And, you know, the competitive ones will tell you, and the non-competitive ones won't care. All of that is fine, but it's not really the point. The point is then to say to them, okay, show your ducks to other people. And what I want you to do is I want you to take the best of everything that you've done, the ones that you did, the ones that you've seen, and I want you to create your forever duck. This is the one that is going to stay in that shape of. So people now can go, okay, no, I really quite like that first duck that I did. So how did I do that? So I put that there. And I had, oh, you see, now this is where you're going to need one of those little things that gets things apart. There we go. I had a beak here. I separated out, and I had a body, and I had some feet, and the feet can either go forwards or backwards. I think I'm going to go mine forwards. So they get to create their forever duck again. So it might be the very first one that they did, or it might be the 5th or the 6th one that they did. And they can start, if you've got time, you can ask them to create a life for their duck. What's your duck called? Where does he live? What does he like doing? Have a bit of fun about it. Share your story with your next door neighbour. Talk to them about your duck. But the whole point is drawing it back and saying, okay, so part of the debrief you've already mentioned about how did you feel when we deconstructed it, but also about the fact that if you only ever try one thing once and stick with it, how do you know what the other options are? So prototyping is really important within this. So there we go. That's one way of using 6 Lego bricks in order to create awareness about either how people feel about change, about prototyping, so not sticking with the first thing that you do. Maybe it's about comparing yourself to other people. There's lots of different outcomes to this, but it's a really nice, easy one to be able to use.